A big hello, children, to all of you. Hope you all are very much fine studying online in your homes. So, children, in this class 9, we have come to this chapter where map work is important. But in my previous videos, as I have said, that your knowledge of some terms related to drainage is also very important. Without them, your simple map work will be incomplete. So children, today we will do few more terms. One is the drainage pattern and the other one is estuary. So drainage pattern, simply speaking, is the design formed by a river, and this design is formed not by a single river but taking into account its tributaries and also the distributaries. Now, when any river along with its tributaries and distributaries is viewed from above, that is, if we take a picture from the helicopter, you will find that different rivers forms different kinds of designs from above, and these designs formed by the river with its tributaries and distributaries is known as drainage pattern. Drainage pattern is not similar everywhere. It appears different in different parts, and it basically depends upon some factors, and these factors are mainly related to the slope of the land. It is also related to climatic condition, because how much rainfall is occurring where is very important, or what is the rate of evaporation at any place, that is also important. And at the same time, it is also very necessary to know the underlying rock structure. What type of rock is there? What is the structure of the rock? That is also important. Now, why this is important? Because different types of rocks have different types of characteristics. You will find that the sedimentary rocks have the capacity to hold moisture. It acts as a sponge and it can absorb moisture. It can hold water. So water table is very much high in the sedimentary rock belt. But the igneous rocks are hard and it does not hold water. So in case of igneous rock, children, you will find that the groundwater table is very low. Here in the igneous rock belt, children, if the farmers dig well for water, first thing they will have to dig a huge depth, of water, huge depth of land has to be dug out in order to get water. And it is not necessary that water will be available after digging a huge depth of land surface. It even if it appears, it will remain temporarily, maybe for 2 to 3 years, but again it will evaporate. So the capacity to hold water also varies from rocks to rocks. So the drainage pattern of any place is varying in our country. Basically, we have 4 types of drainage which is very easily recognized in our country. They are dendritic drainage pattern, trellis drainage pattern, rectangular drainage pattern, and radial drainage pattern. The commonest one is the dendritic drainage pattern. So let us see how this dendritic drainage pattern develops. The Ganga river system is a typical example of dendritic drainage pattern. Now, children, coming to the first drainage pattern is the dendritic drainage pattern. Now, this dendritic drainage pattern, you can see that I have drawn it just like the branches of a tree. So this is the main river which is flowing in this way. It is getting water from the different tributaries which is joining it from different directions. Here the distributaries have come out from the main river. Here, children, the main thing is that the dendritic pattern is formed when any river follows the slope of the land. When the river follows the slope of the land, this kind of pattern is developed, and the map that you have in your book, there if you see the Ganga river along with its tributaries and distributaries, you will find this kind of drainage pattern. Now this kind of drainage pattern is common because most of the rivers follow the slope of the land. The second drainage pattern is radial drainage pattern. Now a radial drainage pattern, if it is seen from a helicopter, you will find that it will appear just like this. So you can see it is much different. The design that has been formed is much different from what you have seen in the previous one, that is dendritic pattern. So here what I have written, rivers coming down the slope in different direction. So if there is a single hill in this way, the rivers that are coming down the slope, they are not going to meet each other. So when we see it from above, we will find this kind of pattern. So this is an example, typical example, when the rivers come down a single hill. From a single hill in different directions, the rivers are coming down. The pattern formed is in this way and the structure is in this way. So it is known as radial drainage pattern. Here also the river is flowing, different rivers are flowing the slope of the land, but the direction is different. Flowing through along the slope of the land, but the direction is different. So we get the radial drainage pattern, which is typically different from the design formed in dendritic drainage pattern. The next one that we have as trellis drainage pattern. Now trellis drainage pattern again is typically different. As you can see, children, I have drawn the rivers parallel to each other. The rivers are flowing parallel to each other. Now in this case what happens, children, the land surface has been slightly folded. It consists of hard rocks, soft rocks, hard rocks, soft rocks, and the land surface has undergone slight folding. Now in this case, children, what happens? The hard rock areas will be higher and the soft rock areas will be lower, because the harder rocks are resistant to erosion. So they are higher, and the areas where the softer rocks are there, it is easily eroded by the rivers. So here you can find, children, that rivers are flowing parallelly because there is alternate beds of hard and soft rock. These are hard rock, these are soft rock. The lower one is softer rocks, the higher one is composed of harder rocks. So here you can see, children, I have written rivers flow over the softer rocks, eroding them easily. So this is a drainage pattern which is again different from the previous two drainage pattern. So here there is no scene like branching in the dendritic pattern. In the conical hill you have found that their rivers are flowing in different direction. Here the rivers are flowing in the same direction, but they are not meeting each other because they are flowing parallel to each other. So such a drainage pattern is known as trellis drainage pattern. The fourth pattern, children, is the rectangular drainage pattern. Now this rectangular drainage pattern, you can see, is much different from the earlier patterns. Now here, children, you can find that I have drawn the rivers flowing in rectangular bends, making sharp rectangular bends. Here another river is also coming and joining in rectangular bends. Now when the river is flowing in rectangular bends, here it makes the pattern known as rectangular drainage pattern, and it is seen that such kind of pattern occurs in area where the land surface have experienced faulting in the past. So here the rivers flow in rectangular bends and the rocks are very much jointed. So these are the four different common patterns of river systems, river drainage patterns, not river system, river drainage pattern. So you can find that there is distinct difference between all the types because they can be easily identified. So this one you can easily identify because it's flowing in rectangular bends. Similarly, children, you can easily identify the trellis where the streams are flowing almost parallel to each other. In case of radial drainage pattern, children, they are flowing in different directions from any conical hill. So that is different. In dendritic drainage pattern, it simply appears like the branches of a tree. So in this way, children, different drainage pattern has different kinds of look. In this, the faulting is important. In case of trellis, the area generally experience folding. So in this way, children, different drainage patterns are formed in different ways. Now let's see what will be the next term that we will study. Now children, after studying the drainage pattern, let us study how an estuary is formed, or what is the difference between this delta and estuary. Children, you have already studied about delta in your junior classes because it's a very common feature, and this feature is there in most of our rivers which are joining the sea, especially the Bay of Bengal. And the most important criteria, children, for the delta formation is that the river has to flow for a long distance over the land before joining the sea. Now, most of the North Indian rivers, that is the Himalayan rivers, they cover a long distance over the soft sedimentary rock. They erode lot of material and they carry the material, eroded material, along with the river and deposit it wherever the slope is less and the river finds it very heavy to carry forward. In fact, the first place of deposition is right at the foothills of the mountain where the river deposits huge materials, especially the bigger size boulders or rocks which the river cannot carry forward. Now it continues its onward journey. During this journey, some of the pieces break into smaller pieces. The smaller pieces break further to become finer and finer. So when this takes place, when this happens, children, the river becomes slow because the slope of the land is less, and at that time the river continues its work of deposition. It continues to deposit in the plain area, and the land surface just before the joining the sea becomes totally clogged with the deposits by the river. So when it becomes totally clogged by the deposits of the river, that is, it becomes jam packed with the deposits of the river, the water cannot proceed forward, and it starts dividing into a large number of channels. Now, the point from where this division of the channel starts is the stage where the delta formation starts. Delta formation starts at the last stage of the river where these channels develop. These channels are known as distributaries, and the river starts distributing its water through these distributaries. The material is deposited to a great extent, and then the river reaches the sea. So here you see, children, all the material that the river is carrying in its journey, starting from the originating point, is getting dumped on the land itself. It is not dumping much of the material in the sea. Yes, some amount is deposited, but not very much amount is dumped into the sea, because most of the material is dumped on the land itself. However, you will find the river channel is getting blocked by this deposit. If you ever have been to river Hubli, that is the river which flows in Kolkata, you will find that within the river bed there are huge machineries kept. This JCB machines which are there used for construction work, those machines are there placed in the river, and continuously these machines, they pick up huge quantities of silt from the river bed. This is necessary, children, because otherwise the ships or the steamers, they cannot move forward, because the level of water becomes less and there is more and more amount of sediments dumped into the river. So this delta formation is a long process, huge process, and for this the river has to flow for a long distance over the land before joining the sea. So delta is there. Our Ganga Brahmaputra delta is well known. It has formed the largest Sundarban delta. There are deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, but you will not find any delta along the western coast of our country, because here the rivers do not have time to deposit the material in the on the land before joining the sea. The rivers come down the mountains and flow directly into the sea, carrying or dumping all the material. So in case of delta, the shape was V-shaped, but here it is funnel shaped. Let us see the diagram, children, so that you can have a clear idea. And the term that is used to denote such a structure is known as estuary. Our Narmada and Tapi river has formed estuaries. In fact, the other rivers also coming down the western Ghats and joining the Arabian Sea have all formed estuaries, and they dump all the materials directly into the sea instead of on the land. Let us see the diagram, children, so that your doubt is cleared very well. Children, you can see that I have drawn the diagram of both delta and estuary. In case of delta, though I had explained delta before, you see that the river is coming down, dumping the heavier material here. It is going forward, but it is dumping, continuously dumping, depositing all this material, and it is depositing to such a great extent that the river is getting blocked, and the river starts dividing into channels. These channels are the distributaries, and then all this water joins the sea. Here I have written eroded materials are deposited on the land before joining the sea. So these channels are distributaries, children. So this is the condition for formation of delta. It is a V-shaped structure. This becomes a V-shaped structure, children. and the materials are dumped on the land. The water reaches the sea. In case of estuary, children, the river comes down the mountain and it has to join the sea because there is no other option. So only little amount of material gets dumped here, but the majority of the material goes and joins the sea. So this structure is funnel shaped, where the mouth of the river is submerged into the sea. So what is the mouth of the river? The end point of the river is known as the mouth of the river. And this kind of structure is seen in all the rivers coming down the Western Ghats and joining the Arabian Sea. And such kind of structure is known as estuary, and this kind of structure is seen in all the rivers joining the Bay of Bengal. So this is known as delta and this is known as estuary. So children, I think after watching this diagram, your doubt is clear. So next day, children, now as most of the terms has been discussed, we will start with the map work, and after that, children, if there is any more terms that needs to be discussed, I will discuss it again. So children, take down the diagrams that I have shown you today, the drainage pattern diagram and this delta and estuary diagram. I feel that a lot of doubt related to the chapter will be cleared and you will be familiar with these terms very well. Thank you children. Have a nice day.